In this video, we're going to do some calculations for calculating the average atomic mass. So essentially, we're going to show you how we come up with the numbers that you see in the periodic table over here. The information you're typically given in a question like this will be the atomic mass for a specific isotope. So for example, here we have the naturally occurring isotopes of silver. There's silver 107 and 109. They each have 47 protons, just show that they're both silver. That's their atomic number there at the bottom, 47 and 47. But then you're also given their atomic mass over here. So the atomic mass of silver 107 is 106.9, and then 108.9 for the silver 109 here. The relative abundance is basically just a percentage that these isotopes exist in nature. So 51.8% of silver in nature is the silver 107 and 48.2% is the silver 109. And so we want you to figure out in this question what is going to be the average mass that you would sort of put on that periodic table. And a way to do that, to calculate the average atomic mass, you take the mass of a particular isotope, multiply it by its abundance as a percentage, and then add it to the mass of another isotope multiplied by its abundance, and you keep doing that for the number of isotopes that you have there. So let's do this example together just to walk you through it. So we have question 1 here. Naturally occurring silver exists as two isotopes. From the mass of each isotope and the isotopic abundance listed below, calculate the average atomic mass of silver. So you will need your calculator for this. So make sure you have that out. And there is a specific way I want you to show your steps. It's just basically I want you to be as clear as possible when you're writing this stuff out. And if you're as clear as possible for me to read and understand it, it'll be clear and easy for you to understand the concept behind what you're doing. So the more organized you are with your questions, the more likely you are to be successful in your questions as well. So essentially, when you're trying to find the average atomic mass, which is basically just a weighted average, you're multiplying each mass by its relative abundance percentage, turned into a sort of decimal or percent. So turned into a So for example, if this is 51.8%, if that's 51.8% for the isotopic abundance, you wouldn't put it as 51.8 in your calculation. You would put it as instead 0.518, like that. So essentially it's that divided by 100. So you want to write it down as that decimal form as opposed to as that 51.8. So just keep that in mind. That's a common mistake students usually make. So this is our formula we're going to use here. The average mass is the mass times the relative abundance of one isotope. So this is isotope, let's just say 1. Doesn't really matter which one. And then this is isotope 2. And if you had more, you'd do the same thing. Just keep adding more. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that here. So we have step 1, the average mass is equal to the mass of, let's start with the first isotope, silver 47 over here. So this is just the same thing, just the format's off, but 47, 107, and then, or that's silver 107, sorry, and then over here, silver 109, like that. So we'll do the mass of silver 107, which is 106.9, multiplied by its abundance as a decimal form there, 0.518. So you just divide by 100 to get this, plus, open your brackets here, the mass of the other isotope, 108.9, times its isotopic abundance, 0.482. And then that should give you, put that in your calculator. So be careful when you do this. I usually do it step by step. So first I'll open my brackets and I'll do 106.9 times 0.518. Then I'll close the brackets and then do plus, open the brackets again, 108.9 times 0.482 equals. So I recommend you actually try this out with your calculator because everyone's calculator is a little bit different. And you want to make sure you know how to input numbers in properly and get the correct answer. But we get 107.8 and this is going to be as atomic mass units over here. So, and the reason for that is because these are in atomic mass units as well. So this is atomic mass unit over here. This is atomic mass unit over here. So I do like to put my units in like that as well. So do include those units in there. I should have included them earlier, just so the units follow through at the end for you. And then the last step I usually like to do is a therefore statement. So you can say therefore, this means therefore, the average mass is equal to 107.864 atomic mass units. So it's just a reminder that you actually looked for the average mass, and it allows you to remember what your question was all about. So you'll show your steps, your final answer there, and then your therefore statement. In terms of rounding, you can leave your decimal places there. I'm going to teach you later on how you know how many decimal places to round to. If you're unsure, just ask, and typically in a question, I'll let you know ahead of time. But eventually in one of the units, you'll learn exactly what you should be rounding to based on certain tips and tricks and something called significant figures.